Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, November 10th, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. 5-day narrow range in full effect here, heading into a Friday trade. You see very narrow price action. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here's Thursday, Friday now. Thursday outside day down, which helped to widen the week's range a bit more from just here to here and widen it out a little bit there to there. And today could be a fade back day where we fade back into the range up above. Even though it was an outside day down today, looking like a fade back within the range. There's a shot to get back to 4,400 by the end of the day there in that case. This could be very similar to what happened here recently, where you have this kind of move up, you have this range, maybe you drop down here just like this one, and the next day starts back up within the range. So again, could be looking at a move to the midpoint, through the midpoint, opens up 4,400, and you're back inside the range. Bears are looking for expansion here, but right now, unless a breakthrough 4350 starts to happen, you're stuck in the range this week until proven otherwise, heading into next week's action, where we could begin to see some expansion. Now, once we do see expansion from this range, 5-day narrow range has the potential for some big time juice. Last week was the highest 1 week range of the year. Now we have probably the lowest 1 week range of the year. 58.7 points right now, 33% of ADR, very compressed. The potential is for about 165, maybe as much as 200 points of range next week once we start to see expansion. So say we break here and fail at 43.50, there could be a 200-point drop back to 41.50. So that's the 200-point potential here on this upper end of the scale. So big time potential up next week, and once we get that expansion, it could be a week-long worth of price discovery. All right, taking a look here at the NQ, very similar here for the NQ as well. Not quite as compressed and tidy of a range on a 5-day basis, but still you can see here the range is significantly compressed. 40% of ADR, 315 points of range. Right now, again, could be a fade back up type of day, back toward the previous session's midpoint, 15,345. Maybe we get back up toward 15.4 by the end of the day. So 15.2 to 15.4 could be in play, something we talked about yesterday afternoon in our trading room for a bounce back day as we remain within this narrow 5-day range. Eventually, a breakout move of 700 to 900 points could be ahead next week. Looking at crude oil, crude up about 0.9% right now. There it is, trending downward, double inside day at the moment. Bears looking to defend into strength. We saw that here yesterday. Right now, today, a little bit of an uptrend within the range, but a very clear downward trend right now. Very bearish downward Pima trigger zone. A downside break out of this 5-day narrow range. Everything still suggests more weakness ahead. When you have a 4-day or 3-day narrow range like this, perhaps an upside push and failure could lead to a continuation ahead. Something like this day right here maybe, or this day right here. One of these pushes where it takes you up, fails, and then drops. Up, fails, drops. So again, we could be looking at 78s leading us back down towards 70 up ahead next week. Looking at, let's bring up gold. Gold down another 1% right now, breaking through the 1960 level. Can't find his bearings right now. You see the 8-period average folding over very quickly right now, perhaps to provide resistance on the next bounce. Are testing, or about to test here, that year-to-date VWAP. And when a year-to-date VWAP is flat, it doesn't necessarily hold as a bounce. You tend to see it go to it and then through it. You go to it and through it. So this is where it compressed before it sold away from it. So right here, a failure right there could lead to a continuation back toward the lower levels of the previous quarter. This is going to be an important zone right here, but again, for the most part, trending downward in the short term after a lower high here, 3-point reversal that opens up the potential for more weakness back toward 1920, maybe even down into 1900 above or below. So right now, trending lower, bears looking to defend into strength within the downtrend. Lastly, looking at the YM. The YM right now bouncing back into the previous session's range. Barely a new low, maybe by one tick. 912 was the low yesterday. 915 was the low yesterday. And today's low, 913. So 2 ticks below the previous session's low and pushing back up. Again, the expectation is for a rotation back to the previous session's midpoint, 34,100, and maybe a shot to make it all the way back up toward the top of the range here, 34.2 to 34,250. So again, looking for strength here. 5-day narrow range. You can see it down here. It's really a 6-day narrow range as well. So if we bring this up to 6, we can actually add a day to give us a little bit more juice on the potential forecast right here. 1,200 points right there, 1,500 points. 12 to 1,500 points of breakout movement could be seen ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of narrow range price action. After strength in a medium-term down move, does this get rotated downward next week? Or can we see an upside break and push through the top of this range, which opens up 35.4 and maybe even higher? So 6-day range here with the potential for 12 to 1,500 points of expansion up ahead. For now, trending higher within the daytime frame. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out here heading into the weekend. Happy Friday. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.